picking up the point made by the Noble Lord opposite about hydrogen and the importance of hydrogen, particularly as a method of storing renewable energy when there's an excess available from wind and solar, etc. I don't know if the Noble Lord the Minister saw a really interesting study out this week on direct reduction furnaces and how, if we were to actually see the emission allowances gradually reduced, we could actually see that producing steel with green hydrogen would be 15% cheaper than producing it with coal using carbon capture and storage. So can the Noble Lord the Minister tell me what the government is doing in terms of encouraging, supporting, seeing put into operation the creation of green steel in the UK, given that's already happening in Germany and has been for a couple of years?
Well, we're looking at a lot of ways of supporting the steel sector. We think it's a very important sector in the UK. I would question the Noble Lady's figures that if we wanted to produce steel completely with hydrogen, it would require enormous investment. I know there are a number of interesting research projects going on, but I don't think they're particularly well established in other countries yet either. But there are exciting prospects, and of course we should do all we can to support it. I actually agree with her point that one way of using so-called excess power from the likes of wind farms, which they produce lots of power, perhaps at times that can't be used, will potentially be in producing hydrogen. But hydrogen is a relatively inefficient way of storing power. It's much more effective if we can use the power when it's actually produced. If you use a unit of electricity to produce hydrogen and then, for instance, use it for heating, you lose 60% of the energy value of that unit of electricity in converting and storing hydrogen. It's a very difficult gas to compress, to transport, to store, and then to use. It is not necessarily an efficient way, but it could be a way of storing excess electricity production if it can't be used, and that gets us back into the question that we discussed earlier of expanding the grid, etc. So there are lots of different solutions, lots of different potential technologies that we could use, and as I said, our strategy is to explore as many of them as possible, so we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. We have a diverse energy mix. It will take many years to roll out, but that, in my view, is the future of energy supply in this country.